giving game to the ones who don't have it is the only civil service. Safe to say that we emerging from the ways that we was learning. Locking those bets, we a sure shot, no shit. Ghost dog, pigeons off the roof, we need more bricks. Do you feel me? Yeah, state boy, please don't test me. The M5 filthy, I'ma skate like Gretzky. How you gon' earn when you sitting down? Tell me. They forced the forfeiture of all positions, postings, assigned titles. Look at now, divine rivals couldn't stop the resurrection. Pine box, fine shot, last stop on the reg. We don't answer to a solitary soul, we off the res. Trust me.
Better elevate. They done lost their way. They done lost their way. Real shit, goddamn. They done lost their way. They done lost their way. No, better elevate.
So now we got the neighborhood riddled with drugs. You know what I mean? You got the neighborhood, New York City, Harlem Central for Narcotics USA. And what happens is coming back now at the same time, you got the GIs coming back from Vietnam. So it's aggregate. A lot of things in the community is aggregate. There's a lot of different things coming together. So we got the GIs coming back from Vietnam, and they got the heroin habits. You know what I mean? And heroin is a drug that will make you physically addicted. You know what I mean? And that's why we see so much going on with the pills, with the opiates, because a lot of them are morphine-based. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's morphine-based is, you know, has the same qualities of heroin. So what happens is that now, you know, you got the heroin in our communities, you know what I'm saying? And we applaud, you know, the men that made the money off the heroin because, you know, they were able to make success out of nothing because there were no opportunities. You know, at that point in time in Harlem, the numbers men and the hustlers worked side by side. They banked each other. When the number man was short, the hustlers banked the number man. When the hustlers were short, the number man's banked the hustlers. If you're not familiar with the numbers is this thing called lotto. You know what I mean? They took the lottery system. The numbers was actually the lottery system. It was a private lottery in the community. So now we're dealing with the drugs in the community. So now when they come with the drugs in the community, you know, right behind the riots and the Curtin Commission, they come with the drugs in the community. You know, now what happens is that we also starting to get into the media as well. So now all of a sudden we have shows like Good Times, we have shows like Sanford and Son, we have shows like The Jeffersons, and those are the television shows. And then at the same time, we have the blaxploitation era. Now we in the movies, you know. So we have like Cotton Comes to Harlem, Superfly, Shaft, and the like what we call the blaxploitation era. But also then we have coming in mainstream culture. We have things like Saturday Night Live, and we have all these variations of the culture in America changing, you know, from being a more civil, upstanding culture to, you know, letting in a lot of different things. And now we got the heroin prevalent in our community. And the heroin, you know, the heroin was in our community prior to, you know, in the 60s and in the 50s. You know what I mean? You know, but now it's running rapid, you know. But what happens is that eventually, you know, the next generation, you know, when they see a drug destroy the prior generation, you know, just like everybody here now, everybody said the crackheads. You know, they vilify and say, oh no, we're not messing with that. You know what I mean? But what happens is the drug that they pick up is just as bad as the drug that you denounced. So what happens is that now we have the era with the dust era. Many people forget about the dust era. In the dust era, you know, a lot of people made a lot of money in the dust era. You know what I mean? And angel dust was smoked like on mint leaves. You know, they put it on mint leaves. Out in DC, they call it the Love Boat. They put it on, you know, bullshit weed. You know what I mean? So, you know, and this is in DC. I mean, in Cali, they call it Sherm. You know what I mean? So now we got this dust era. You know what I mean? And the dust era got everybody bugging out, doing the same exact thing. You know what I mean? Destroying families, destroying lives. So you got the era. You know what I mean? You know. The next generation says we're not messing with that. So, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We got the dust era, we got the cocaine era. Now the difference with the cocaine era was more expensive drug. See, cocaine at that time was a very expensive drug. So the cocaine era, you know what I'm saying, was, like I said, was amongst the big players, and it came associated with like the disco era. You know what I mean? Now we talking about the 1980s. We talking about the 80s right now. You know, we left the 70s with the heroin, the 60s and the 70s with the heroin. Now we talking about the 1980s, and we got cocaine and dust flowing everywhere. Now we getting into the crack. So now what happens is this cocaine era. You know what I mean? You know, where it was, you know, people was cooking it up, and that's when we got Richard Pryor with the freebase. You know what I mean? Freebase, it looks like right now, what y'all young people call use hookah. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're based primarily the same exact concept. Only difference is that they cook with cocaine or you put the charcoal in. You know what I mean? So what happens is that now you got the freebase era. You know what I mean? Because people are cooking up the cocaine. You know what I mean? So now they're cooking up the cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Now what happens is that you can't buy cocaine at $10 and $20. You got to be spending hundreds of dollars to buy it. You got to be spending $300, $200, and things like that. You know what I mean? About these things at the time they used to call them 8 balls and stuff like that. At this point in time, you know what I mean? This was, you know, crack was coming in synonymously at the same time. You know, because the crack era took over with cocaine era.